Hello ladies and gentlemen, it is Comely here, and today I am happy to bring to you episode 2 of Comely Presents, my show about Han and gardening and life as an adult film star. Today I am really excited to bring to you an episode that is near and dear to my heart. Today we're going to be looking at something a little bit more specific than we did last time. Last time we looked at support in the early game particularly. Today we're going to be looking at something different. We're going to be looking at Chu specifically playing on Pebbles. I absolutely love Chu as a player, and I specifically like his Pebbles play. It really kind of inspired me back in the day when I used to see it, and kind of, shaped the kind of player that I am today. These are going to be particularly pretty old games. This game is from something like 6 months ago. We're going to be looking at another one that is about 3 months ago. So definitely a little bit in the time machine today, but I wanted to find some really good examples of the particular subject, which is Chu dealing with adversity when he's playing as Pebbles. Because typically people know how to play things that they expect, right? They know how to handle situations that they've done before and that they are ready for. But a lot of people don't know how to kind of adapt to situations as they come up. And that's kind of what we're going to be focusing on today. You can see that this is definitely an older patch. For one, the minimap looks a lot different. There's just the dots instead of the little icons and everything for stuff. I kind of thought that something was messed up on my UI for a little bit when I first loaded up this replay to make sure it was the right one. But it's definitely the right one. You can also see that the rune spawns right away, so we do have an illusion rune picked up on Forsaken Archer, who was a lot stronger back then. You do see that right off the bat, the kind of focus of this episode is that he's going 2 versus 1 in this mid lane. It is Pebbles going up against both a Magnus and a Forsaken Archer. Again, Forsaken Archer is pretty strong at this point in the game. I don't know the exact patch. I could look it up and maybe add it to the YouTube description or something. But Chu is pretty quite strong. Pretty quite strong. And, sorry, I have to hydrate, as you guys know. And so we're seeing right off the bat, he's not, he has to play really, really passively, right? Otherwise, they're just going to blow him up. And he's staying back, he's trying to get experience when he can, he's not panicking, and he's not really giving them any setup. We saw him right off the bat use his stun just to try and get some extra last hits in there. He wants to get his bottle as soon as he can. He has enough for another stun. I wouldn't be surprised if we'll continue to see him use it just for last hitting at this point. There's not much he can do as far as auto attacking. This is, of course, old school EG versus SK matchup. Again, I don't know exactly what it's from. I kind of lost track of all these replays, and I just pulled some out that I thought looked really good. But, you see they're running a 2-2-1 lineup against a 3-1-1 lineup. And kind of the reasoning to that, in my mind, is that tri-lane is kind of predicated on the idea that if you win 2 lanes, you can win the game quite successfully and quite confidently. And the most effective way of doing that is kind of putting 3 heroes into a lane and making it a really, really, really strong lane, because then you only need to essentially win one of your other 2 lanes in order to have a 2-to-1 lane advantage, right? So what 2-2-1 attempts to do is say, okay, we're going to slow down your tri-lane a little bit, or we're going to go 2 versus 1 and kind of shut down that lane. And then we're going to put 2 versus 1 in your mid and absolutely shut it down. And then it's only up to that other lane. If we have 2 versus 1, we're either going to try and win that lane, or if we have a 1 versus 1, we're going to have confidence in our solo here, which is Wretched Hag being played by Fogged, enough to either win that lane and then you have 2 lane advantage, or kind of be even in that lane, and then it becomes a whole game about positioning and ganking and all kinds of stuff like that. And so you change the dynamic of the game a lot by running a 2-2-1, and it's not something we've seen often. I think the ranged carries not being as strong as the ranged carries being so strong, and the aggressive tri-lanes really coming out with those really effective roamers kind of shuts down 2-2-1 a little bit, because they can manipulate the numbers of the lanes quite effectively. And so we see Chu continuing to he's got his bottle, he's got the levels going, which is the really, really important thing. He's not panicking. Fogged just got the bloodless kill, so his team is not doing so great. They're not winning that bottom lane. His creep score right now, he's only sitting at a 4-0 creep score. You see Forsaken Archer is sitting here at a 15-6 creep score, and he's not panicking. He's not running around at level 4 trying to kill everything. He's just getting his levels. He knows that opportunities can present himself. He's harassing and last hitting with Chuck. He's just doing what he has to do at this point just to get enough farm. We see another kill up top by Trelfendor onto Yoda. A lot of trouble, for EG at this point, They're not getting farm in mid. They've gotten killed in both top and bottom lanes. And a lot of this is really going to fall into Chu in the mid-game, and him being able to enter that with some kind of semblance of confidence. You see they do go on him, they're going to be able to put out a ton of damage, those skeletons do such great, but you see right there just the utility of that chuck being used so effective by Chu. You know, he knew that if he tried to stun or something, it wasn't as reliable as just chucking them back and getting that Magnus off of him, doing some decent damage to FA as well. They do actually... Oh, it is going to be kind of contested here at the bottom rune. I'm not sure who's going to get it. It looks like Magnus... Ooh, see, Chu gets the stun just a tiny bit earlier there, and it actually lets him get that rune. That's quite significant, right? Because it refills his bottle. It put a little bit of a harassment into Magnus. He's just going to turn around and punch him in the face, because he does not want Magnus to have a sense of comfort. Okay, now if you look, they're actually tied in levels right now, 2 versus 1, right? Level 4 Magnus and Forsaken Archer against a level 4, now level 5 Pebbles. But you know, he's not that far ahead, but he's okay because he's not dying. He's getting a little bit of farm here and there where he can squeak it out. He's got his bottle. He's only got 119 gold per minute. He's not doing fantastic, but again, you know, he's the kind of player who has that patience. He knows when an opportunity presents itself, and he's not going to try and force himself to make opportunities that won't actually work most of the time. Because basically, if he loses this mid lane, with kills happening both the top and bottom for SK, his team is in a really, really bad spot at that point. And so, you know, it'll be interesting to see how he chooses to go from here. They do hit another stun into that thing. We do see the archers come out, and they aren't doing anything. So that was fortunate. Pebbles does live, obviously. And he is able to, you know, kind of farm these creeps once again into his tower. And he is low on life at this point. I expect him to probably go ahead and maybe just hang around. Maybe go back and heal. See, my instinct there is to go to the fountain. And going to the fountain is something you want to avoid. I guess he just has confidence in being able to go and actually get this room. See, he's just bringing himself items. See, that is something that is such a bad habit to have. And, you know, it's really a big hallmark of lower level players to instinctively want to go to the fountain. Health pots are really, really strong when you use them. You know, the price of leaving a lane is very high, especially in this early game. We do see him roaming around a little bit with this haste rune, trying to either scout somebody out, because again, these guys are missing, or, you know, catch a courier. I don't know what she's doing. But he is coming all the way around. He would have dodged any more that was there. And now he might actually be able to set up a kill. You know, if Magnus and Forsaken Archer are able to see him coming in, nothing is really going to happen for it. It does look like maybe Behemoth and Glacius are going to come down into this mid and help Chu out a little bit. I really like that. We see FA bring herself the entire Steam Boots. Yeah, she's got some pretty good farm going. Yeah, it does look like they're going to go ahead and set this up. I like this. Chu wasn't going to be able to do it by himself. He would have just gotten roasted. Haste be damned, probably. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to line this up effectively or not. I assume they're going to be trying to go on this FA here. We do see the stun come out, and that's going to let him get his stun out. Oh, but Magnus does stun just in time. And it looks like a TP is coming in, and Hasted True is just going to have to get out of there. So nothing really came out of it, but again, you know, it kind of reinforces this idea of you can kind of have this lane, but don't get too comfortable. You know, Magnus, you're not allowed to walk up to me and auto-attack me when I'm sitting here with a double damage. FA, you're not allowed to just sit here and farm when we have people missing. It's good to just kind of have them feeling uncomfortable at this point. Alright, so we do see Chu has picked up his boots as well. He's probably going to be looking to get this 8-minute rune. Hopefully it'll be something that helps him turn it around a little bit. We do still have the roamers. We have the Glacius and the Behemoth here. Ooh, Magnus in a bit of an unfortunate spot. I'm not sure they're actually going to choose to go on him, though. And, you know, Chu using this time. His roamers are presenting him an opportunity to get some farm, and he's taking it. Something Chu is very, very good at is squeaking out farms in situations where a lot of players will not get as much. If you've ever seen Chu on Soul Stealer, his gold per minute is like always high, right? It doesn't matter what happens in the game. His gold per minute is always high. It's like he has Alchemist Bones without having the item. And you can just see he does that very often through the use of these of knowing when to pop into the jungle and pop out, when he's able to get a little bit extra farming here and there. Little differences that really add up to doing a lot. We see Swiftblade kind of on the run here after getting that kill. Goes all the way around, because any other way and he was essentially dead. And it does look like he is in a little bit of danger. I'm not sure if they saw he was there. We do see them going on Chu once again. It looks like he might actually go down here. He gets away once again. You see that. They're just not able to connect. They get punished for it with a kill. I'm not sure if Behe does have enough to fissure, so this could be quite dangerous. Looks like Swiftblade is a little bit too quick. Ooh, Flimpies would... No, guess is wrong. I'm not sure if he would have been able to actually get that on that cliff and get the vision for the ult, but... Oh, he doesn't have his ult. Just kidding! Oh, just kidding. Another thing to note is that Blood Chalice is a little bit strong in this patch, and you see that he does pick up that Blood Chalice. I'm not sure if he would still do that today. Blood Chalice is a very good item, and it lets you farm really effectively, especially on somebody like Pebbles, because when you have a bottle and a chalice, it actually makes your health pool and your mana pool fairly large, right? Because you just use the chalice and then you fill up both with the bottle. But it lets him kind of kill these jungle creeps. You see him right now, he's coming in here, he's probably going to stack this. And then if he's able to clear it out with his combo, that's a pretty big gold per minute boost, you know? And he really needs to squeak out as much of that as he can. We see Dodo going down here again. It's 1-4 for the Hellboard team's advantage right now. They've been doing quite well this entire game. You know, you're seeing Swiftblade's getting some decent kills and some decent farm in there. Out of nowhere, Sabuska does a very nice job getting a kill right there onto SK. Because Cardinal is, of course, a noob. These Glacius just kind of hanging out here. Again, when you're playing a roamer, you just kind of have to be in the position. One thing to note is that this is on an earlier patch before they put the trees here, which is one of my favorite changes, because, you know, you have the trees that come out probably to about there, and they let you stand where Glacius is right now and come directly into here without being seen. It really kind of helps these Legion maids get ganks from their tops, especially when you have the tri-lanes here. We see Swift Slashes is so powerful on Swiftblade, you know. And Behemoth's just kind of getting melted. So we do see the patience is paying off here for Glacius. He's able to get a double freeze on here. And Chu goes and throws Flimbeastwood into a little bit of danger. They do manage to get a stun on Magnus. But you just see that, you know, he's getting up. He's at about 190 gold per minute, which is not by any means high, but it's definitely higher than the 115 that he had earlier in the game. Ooh, they do choose to dive this Glacius. I'm not sure if Chu's going to be able to get a toss off here. No, it looks like everybody's going to get out for the Hellborn team. But again, you know, he played super passively in the early game, but he's managed to get his boots, he's managed to get a chalice and a bottle. You see right there, he gets an entire creep wave. The lane is not safe to push, but he still manages to get that entire creep wave, no problem. Is this still, yeah, he wasn't able to actually kill these fully last time he came here, so he's just going to chuck, and he's going to get more kills out of it. You see that effectiveness of just knowing to pop in here and pop out. Really is upping his gold per minute. He's over 200 gold per minute. Hopefully we're going to see this build more and more. He's got Striders now, which kind of open up the door for him to gank. The red booties don't really let him gank. Let's be honest. You're not that fast when you get them compared to the other team. He does unfortunately guess wrong on the rune. The rune did spawn top, and I have to unlock. I need to bind that somehow. It is a haste top. So Chu definitely wants to get this. It does look like the Legion team is making a little bit of a stand here, trying to defend it. Hag just goes in and picks it up. Ooh, Hag, well, Hag paid for it. He definitely made him pay for it. Again, Chu kind of wanted the haste rune so he could get a kill, but if they can just get a kill onto that Flimbeastwood for free, he will take that any day of the week. Magnus is in a dangerous position right here, especially with this Behemoth. If he's able to get the stun in time, Magnus, ooh, gets blown up. Okay, so you see that. The EG team is moving around really effectively, right? They've kind of said, okay, this whole early game tri-lane we have two really strong roamers from it. And so we're going to utilize that, and we're going to make them move around quite a bit. And if Chu had been dying in the early game, if he had been running in there trying to blow up Magnus or trying to move around from lane to lane and try and gank, he would not have had the momentum that he has right now. He finished Power Supply. He's going for the trifecta of regen out of 4, the 4th one, of course, being Ring of the Teacher. And he's got the 3 kind of core ones on Pebbles, right? He's going to have a ton of mana regen, because a Pebbles that can't use this combo is pretty fucking useless in a team fight. I'm not afraid to say that. But he's got it, and now he is choosing to go back to the well. Again, it's something you want to avoid whenever you can, but at this point he's so close to it, and he can fill up his bottle, and he doesn't quite have rune control, right? Their hag is kind of moving around and getting the runes, and so he's just going to go fill it up. I wouldn't be surprised if he bought another Homecoming Stone and then tried and ganked somewhere. I don't know if there's any real opportunities for that. But you see his cool